Hi there and welcome. This online training program is titled Why Are You Really Leaving Your Job? What I'd like to do is just go through a couple of things over the next 10 minutes to make sure that the next job that you go into will utilise the very skills and the things that you love doing more, and the things that you don't like doing or you're not that good at, maybe even eliminate them from your next job ideally. So let's get started. We'll get straight to it. What I want to do is show you the seven areas that you could concentrate on, and this is basically your checklist to see that when you're going through and you're having a look, talking to people, you're going through the job sites. What I'd like you to do is write down the 7 things that are important for you. The first thing is that your personality and your character is in line with the culture of the company and of the industry. So that's very, very important. If you're someone who values honesty or values integrity, then you've got to make sure that the culture of that industry is going to be the same. Otherwise, there's obviously going to be clashes down in the long term. You're going to need variety and challenge in your day, and that is basically what I do with the challenge and the variety. I'd actually think about what it is about your current job that you really love, and then go to the next step within those aspects of your job. So if you really enjoy talking with customers and doing deals, for example, then try and make that maybe a bigger component of your next job. Same with the variety. Whatever the bits are that you're really enjoying in your current job or the job that you had before this one, see if you can really bring in a job that harnesses those skills that you've been developing and gives you more exposure so you can develop those skills even more. The positive environment, so this could change, this is different for everybody, but the people that you work with, the stress level that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, if it sort of clashes with what you can put up with or what you want to put up with, then there's going to be problems. So really have a think about the type of environment that you want and that makes you happy. This next thing as well is the balanced lifestyle. So and this could mean travelling an hour to work. Like if you're just over that, for example, whatever aspect it is that why you're leaving, like think about why you're leaving this job. What is it about it that's not quite right? What we can do is fix it with the next job. So the balanced lifestyle, it's basically not doing perhaps as much overtime, or not working the weekends, or not doing shift work, or something like that. So you just figure out what you want in your life and make sure that it's in the next job. The sense of purpose is a big one for a lot of people. A lot of people just want a job. They don't care what they do. They just want to bring in the money. But there are a few people who are really passionate about what they do on a day-to-day basis, and that could resonate with you. So if that's important for you, figure out how you want to make a difference and make sure that you've got the opportunity of making the biggest amount of difference in the next job that you take on. The last is remuneration, and this only, like having a huge paycheck will only satisfy you for the first few months if everything else is not good enough. So make sure that the remuneration covers your lifestyle, but also it's in line with the market expectation at the moment. So just do a little bit of search, have a look at the salary reports on organisations, the recruitment firms in Australia, Hayes, Michael Page. There's lots of different ones. Just Google salary survey and the year, and you'll see who's got the most up-to-date information. So they're the 7 things. Your formula for success will depend on those 7 things. So the higher amount you've got, like the more you can meet those 7 areas, the better and more satisfied you'll be in your career. So how to be happier and more successful in your next job? You really need to think about what it is that you want and what you have to offer, who you are, and make sure that the next job that you go into is going to really appreciate all your skills, your current knowledge and your experience, but also your true talents, because you are very, very good at doing a particular thing. You've got a natural tendency to be able to do something really, really well. So whatever that thing is, write it down, and that is the thing that you need to make sure is really appreciated and recognised in your next job function. So what we're going to do is have a look at the other things that you're good at. What we're going to do now, the best thing to do is really take a look at, there's 4 different parts of your worth, and analysing everything that's about you, and it's called SWOT analysis. Are you familiar with that? I'm sure you are. If you're not, let's go over it. This is a personal SWOT analysis. So what I'd like you to do is get 4 sheets of paper. And this is going to be part of what I'm going to ask you to do after you're listening to this 10-minute audio or 10-minute video. And what I'd like you to do is really think about what it is that you're very, very good at, what your talents are. Because if we can get a job that's going to have more of those in it, and less of the stuff that you don't like or you're not good at, then that will be the formula for success. So what we're going to do is is actually get these pieces of these 4 bits of paper. So if you can grab those while we're talking, that would be great. What makes a SWOT so powerful is that basically after we finish this exercise, with very little thought, we can uncover a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't have otherwise spotted. So by understanding your weaknesses, you can really manage them and eliminate the threats as well that might otherwise hurt your ability to move forward. Alright, so let's get on to the next one. So we've got the first set of questions are here. So the strengths and the weaknesses. So what I'd like you to do is think about what, with your strengths, write down strengths on the first bit of paper, and tell me what advantages you have that others don't. So this is where, like maybe you've been privileged with having a particular advantage in any way, or you've just born with a natural gift. If you know what that is, that's great. Write that down. That's the biggest and most obvious. What do you do better than anyone else? What do other people see that you do better than anyone else? Do you get what I'm saying? And then what are the achievements that you're most proud of? Think about if I was going to ask your employer, your current boss or your current supervisor, or even your current work colleagues, what your strengths were. Write down what they would say. You can pause this at any time and you can do this little activity right now if you like. And also, what values do you believe in? So what's really important to you? So now we'll move on. You can pause this if you want. If you're sort of starting to flow with the ideas, that's excellent. Just we'll go on to the next one if you finish with that, and that's weaknesses. So these are the things that you don't like doing. You try to avoid. You don't feel confident doing them. People all around you know that they're your weakness. Maybe your colleagues are all better at doing something that you're not. What are your negative work habits? Are you often late for work, or do you never check all of your emails? You never get through you can't manage emails properly, or whatever it is. Maybe there's a certain personality trait that sort of hinders you in your career progression a little bit. So have a think about that. Be honest, because if you're not honest now, then it'll get picked up later. What we want to do is really know what the weaknesses are, so that we can make sure that the next job doesn't need whatever it is that you don't have. You're setting yourself up to succeed by doing this. Alright, the third bit of paper, you write the word opportunities, and this is like how can technology help you? How can you take advantage of the current market? And the industries, the industry changes, the trends. Who do you know in your network? What connections do they have with influential people who can help you get into the types of jobs that you're wanting to get into? Taking a look at your competitors or the other people, what are they not doing that you could possibly do? Think really laterally, think creatively, think outside the square, and write them down. Don't put yourself lock yourself in with anything. Just write like crazy. You can evaluate it all later. Similarly with the threats, what obstacles do you currently face at work? What threats do the industries face? Are you going to get outsourced? Is technology going to take over your job, and you're not going to really have a job in 5 years if you keep going down this track? Really, really critically analyse where the company is going and the industry is going. Okay, so we'll leave it with there. That is a SWOT analysis. What we're going to do is we're going to talk more about that in the assignment section, but this will really get yourself set up so that you can take the next level and start to promote the very best skills, knowledge, experience and character traits that you've got. And this is a very strategic way. We're going to see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.